Hello, Tyler Gordon here. Today I'm going to be doing just a little bit of maybe more of a let's play style. um, Here's a rocket farm, by the way, that we have. A creeper farm with some sugarcane on top. This is an El Mango design. The creeper farm is something that we kind of came up with ourselves. Whoop. Just kind of using standard mechanics. So I'm just gonna kind of ramble as I do the work that I had prepared for today. So what I'm gonna be doing is preparing a handful of end gateways. So there's a technique that's been around since I think like 1.8, maybe 1.9, that actually still works. I'm in 1.20.1 at the moment, and the idea is that, well, actually, let's just go to the end here. Closest portal's right over here. There's a technique where you can basically force generate exit gateways. Instead of being on the outer end islands, you can actually... okay, there we go. Here in the end gateway room. All right, here we are in the end. So right up there, you can kind of see just a naked gateway portal. So this actually links to our XP farm. So I'll go ahead and go up there to show you. And grab a pearl, throw it in there. Okay, here we are. So here's the gateway. If I come in through here, I come right back to where I was. This is basically just the experience farm, the XP. But you'll notice that I'm out here in the void, in between the, we've got some custom islands and everything. But here's the outer islands. We're way in here. So that's necessary with a farm like this because we want to have perimeter conditions where the only block that, or area that Enderman can spawn is right here. So basically, yeah, I'm going to be generating 3 more of these. It's easiest to kind of do these in the cardinal directions. So this would be directly to the east. There's going to be one directly to the south, the west, and the north that I'm going to do today. So yeah, let's go ahead and fly out there and see what we're dealing with. So I'm going to do this one that's directly to the west first. Let's make sure I have enough rockets. All right, chunk borders on, just so I don't get lost in the void. It's kind of hard to, or I don't know that it's difficult, but it's daunting to fly around like this with nothing, no frame of reference or anything. All right, here we are. So I am basically flying out. That's in a vector from 0, 0. Ooh, let's not look at these guys. All right. So, yep, here we are. If we look at looking at, it's -1 versus 0. So basically what we do is we go from -1024. This is, by the way, I'm going to link a video that was released by Nembon, who now works for Mojang. He does a better job of explaining all this kind of stuff, but I just kind of wanted to make a video in that sort of let's play style, just so that I don't know, a little bit more awareness that this actually still works in modern versions, kind of the exact same way. So all right, so 1024. We need to go down to looking at block 29. So kind of cheat a little bit here. So looking at block 29. So I can actually just dig straight down. Where was I? Where am I? Okay. 10. At least I think I can, right? Yep, okay. Feel free to come at me for my free cam cheating. It's probably fair. Okay, so basically from this point, negative 29, we need to build, like, bridge all the way out. It's like 256 blocks, I want to say, out this way. And so I actually have a bunch of ice that I've prepared for this purpose. Oop, okay. Why am I using ice? Well, it's non-spawnable, so. There we go. We're going all the way to, in this case, it's going to be negative 768 for the x coordinate. All right, right at the end of this chunk. Looking at negative 769, here's 768. All right, so now all I have to do is basically fill in the rest of this on this side. So what we're looking at here, we need to have all four of these chunks, basically a block loaded in each one. I'm going to do one more here, and I'll show you why in a minute. And then we need to have a 2-wide bridge going all the way back to, 1024, whichever direction you're in, it's going to be negative or positive. So, absolute value of 1024 and 768, depending on which cardinal direction you're trying to generate one of these things. All right, that should do it. Next, I've got some endstone in my inventory. So what we're doing here is we're basically tricking the game into thinking that there's a large island all the way out here. So what we need to do is basically have some endstone that is in all four of these chunks, because the game, what it does is it kind of starts out there looking for land, and then it moves as far forward as it can, and then looks for basically a valid chunk. So this is basically the tiny little end island that's way out here that we've kind of force generated. So this should already be good to go. I'm going to fly back. And I should already be able to jump through that portal, and then it will actually generate a gateway that is right there at that small little island that we just generated. So, all right. See if I can no-scope this. There we go. There it is. So we can already kind of tear out all of this stuff. I'm going to leave it for right now, and just kind of do this 2 more times. All right, here's the second one that I've done. As we can see, we're looking at, in this case, Z negative 768. So I've got the whole path over here prepared, 2-wide bridge all the way over to Z negative 1028. So I'm just going to fly over. This is ready to go. All right, let's see if I can do it again. Yeah, there we go. Look at that. So much skill. I'm so good at this. Okay, I'm inside of a honey block. All right, cool. So there's that one. Maybe I'll put some ice on top of that. Yeah, and then finally this one over here, to the south. South. All right, guys, let's go. Let's go. All right, there we are, looking at X, Z768. So we'll go ahead and do our little procedure here. where we've got in stone kind of poking into each of these 4 chunks. I forgot one. There we go, poking into each of these 4 chunks, and then I have to finish up the bridge all the way back to 1024. I guess I should double check things. Just sanity check here. 768. Yep. Okay. Okay. My elytra are not gonna break. I'm not gonna fall in the void. There we go. So that is all 3 of these that I haven't done already. This can be done to any of the 20 gateways, but the non-cardinal direction ones just require some mathematics, and I don't want to do that. I came here to play Minecraft, not to do math. So, but yeah, so there we go. We have now custom portals in each of the 4 cardinal directions. The rest of these can just get linked out to the outer islands. As far as I'm concerned, I have a hard time believing that we're going to use more than, you know, the 3 remaining here for projects here in the end. Yeah. There we go. All right. Thank you for watching. I might do a few more just kind of running around, you know, housekeeping kind of stuff here in the future. Me just kind of, I don't know. We'll see. Let me know if you got to this point. Let me know if this was worth the time of you watching it. Have a nice day. Thank you. Bye.